From the depths of internet, we come to you. Bad news, good news, dead horse beating news. Even no news will stop us. We'll make news. Even if it is in dumpster fire. We bring you integrity, except when it's EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda, Star Citizen, practically all of them. Movies, shows, and other industry bullshit. This totally is not a waste of time, but it sure is. Space Waste News!
Hello and welcome to Space Waste News for June 12th, 2021. I'm the pilot, that's Yamix, and we are here to pretend to give you some kind of news when it's actually just two buddies basically ribbing each other and giving each other shit for the next hour. Thank you for joining us. Today, obviously, we're going to be talking about E3 and yeah, that's basically yeah, lack of it, because it just started just like today. So.
Yeah, it should be starting relatively soon, or it already has, and I didn't notice it, but yeah.
Exactly. So in lieu of actual content, and we're going to have a clickbait title that says Big E3 time, and we're going to actually talk about other shit instead. How's that sound?
I mean, we're going to talk about game news, so, and
yeah,
game news happen, well, I wouldn't say news, but exaggerations happen during Exaggeration 3. So, there you go.
Okay, well, before we actually do that, I would like to talk about what we have been doing for the last week or so. What have you been playing, man? What's been, igniting the fiery passion in your heart for gaming? What has it been this week?
Massive amounts of grind and soul draining, well, basically just life ruining experiences that are elite dangerous.
Well, that sounds like shit, sir.
Hey?
That sounds like shit, sir. Why are you still playing this thing?
Because I do need to report it for the community's sake, or rather for at least my viewers' sake, if not the whole's. Yeah. There's the niche, sort of. Once you get in the niche, getting out of it is not that easy. Besides, it kind of is easy to go back to it, if you will. But no, even so, there are some interesting aspects of it. It's for me more or less as I usually go with the sort of observer's role on everything, with the commentary on top of it. That I'm just observing this shit fest that is happening, and slowly getting better, maybe one day, someday, who knows? But it certainly will be interesting to see.
I have to tell you, I have been my Twitter feed, my news feed, everything like that. Literally every other post is Elite Dangerous is getting better soon. They're doing this, and the new patch rolled out, and we're all excited, to see what it's going to become and what it's going to do. And I swear to God, hold on. I'm actually watching news articles, other creators turn around and say, oh, it's going to get better soon. We're excited to see what it's going to become. And I'm like, okay. And then every other post is, this game is somehow getting worse.
Ooh, okay. That's, I wouldn't say it's getting worse. I mean, they implemented Odyssey, and that was the big worst punch, but I wouldn't say since the release, whatever they have done has been worse. In fact, it has been very minimal, but at least on a slightly positive side, or neutral. Not a single negative thing really much has happened since the launch.
Well, that's good.
But they're still sifting through the cesspool that is launch. So
I don't actually know. I have not played it in a long time at this point, but I rely on you and my, or the other fellow creators that to give me valuable news and information and this and that. I saw Exegius posted something hysterical the other day. Let's see if I can find that.
Yeah, while you're finding it, I'll waffle about a little bit things. So the other things that I actually been playing as much as I had the time to play, aside from just some pick up and play games, was finishing the first Mass Effect finally and starting the second one. So yeah, I've got the Legendary Edition, blah blah blah. So finally getting around to actually play the fucking thing, or rather, well, yeah, play more of it, rather, because the first one I definitely did pick up, and the second one, I think I did pick up as well. But it's interesting to see essentially what was The Witcher before The Witcher was sort of what was that sort of a game that sparked it. However, the interesting side note about Mass Effect is that Mass Effect 1 and Witcher 1 launched in the same year, which is interesting because they are very similar games on the principle side. One looks holy bejesus bad, and the other one is a funky, poorly aged thing. So yeah, but still,
I totally understand. I was not
in both. So
I did not really get too involved in Mass Effect. I was a little too busy with other things when it, the whole trilogy came out. But you know what? I think I might actually go give it a shot. Yeah, I absolutely. I sent you a video.
Worth it, yeah. Oh God!
I sent you a video. Apparently, this is the fan-made remade trailer for Odyssey, and I thought it was funny as hell. If you'd like to go pull it up and put it on the screen, it's safe.
I'll trust you on this one that it doesn't have copyrighted. Does it have copyrighted music?
It does not have copyrighted.
That it does. So I'm gonna. Hold on, I'm just gonna
it's the trailer.
Thing. Just to be certain of things, right? So let's
it's a minute and 30 seconds.
Just making sure, hey, don't need no content ID nonsense. So
that's fair.
All right, so frame rates by my okay. The frame rate, yeah, of course, 1530. Oh, that's okay. The frame rates.
It is admittedly better with the sound. It is admittedly better with the sound. It's the typical Odyssey, blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah, right. Odyssey used that stupid song. So yeah, better not.
Oh no, there's no song. There's no song. You can't actually unmute it. It's just the commercial.
Oh, okay, oh yeah. Okay, never mind.
What new journeys have yet to be taken?
Just wait for it.
What new discoveries have yet to be?
Oh, there should have been a sound effect. Come on, man. Sound effect was necessary there. Oh. But there you go. Yeah. A few more extra tidbits should have happened during that thing. If you could potentially put in some actually gameplay footage of the blocky, basically loaded asset look, basically not completely loaded in assets and some little things essentially. So yeah.
Now, I am not a fan of the Boran boys because fuck them, but they did put out a video where it's basically it's so funny.
It's decent. It's a good compilation.
Well, I mean, it's illustrated.
It's a good compilation of basically just a variety of basically shit that has happened in the bug wise and then just broken wise on Odyssey in general. So yeah.
I thought it was excellent. I really did. I was like, well,
it deserves to be out there indeed. That is absolutely warranted because it purely is not acceptable the way they released this thing, and it should be mocked for it.
What I've been playing for the last week or so is Star Citizen.
Oh well,
and yeah, and the ultimate irony here is that I've been getting better for FPS off of Star Citizen than I have off of Odyssey.
I call bullshit on that. Okay.
I swear to God,
I call bullshit on it because yesterday, okay, I did
Okay.
play. I did stream Elite Dangerous. I was basically very sarcastically and just very mockingly making a point that during the absolutely bad gameplay and boring time-wasting gameplay, where you're literally asked to stand around and wait until data gets downloaded for 3 minutes and then literally nothing happens while you do so,
so annoying.
or something happens, and basically time-wasting elements of the game. I decided to put up at first Minecraft while I was doing it, like Apex Travel as well. Like I was just literally playing Minecraft during the whole travel because
Sure.
it deserves to be mocked
As you
that
do.
way. And another thing that I figured, and chat suggested it, that I boot up Star Citizen while I wait for Elite Dangerous.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh, no.
And during that, the frame rates on Elite Dangerous dropped clearly because of extra resources being utilized to render the scenes and blah 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 on both ends. Well, the thing is, when a game is not on focus and when not on screen, oftentimes it is that it doesn't render new scenes. So resources not necessarily constantly get consumed. Used to be back in the day, but not today. Only RAM gets consumed, regardless. Right? So I'm running Elite Dangerous. It's running around 40. 45, 50 frames a second, so noticeable slight drop there to my normal 60 to 50 something frame rate. Star Citizen, can you guess the frame rate on that one?
I have no idea because this is a bit long for a
9. 9. While my usual is maybe 25 to 35, maybe 45,
Wait a minute, hold on. So you're running Star Citizen while you're running Elite?
Yes.
And it's getting bad frame rate and you're shocked about this? This is the joke?
No. It's just the difference that both of them had to compete for CPU, RAM, which I have plenty of, so that doesn't
I don't
matter.
know, man.
And CPU, right?
This isn't very scientific. I don't think
it's absolutely not scientific, but it's just interesting that when one of them has to compete for the performance and hardware, right? It's noticeable how much more lower one can get than the other.
It does matter which one you load first, right?
Oh, sure. Yes, it does. Obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
It was just a funny thing that, it just could not.
I'm saying I'm averaging between 30 and 40 frames per second in Star Citizen, and I'm getting less in Odyssey, just in general. And I think that's incredibly ironic. And just, wow, I never expected to get better performance out of Star Citizen than I did Elite. I really didn't. I cannot believe it's here. But more importantly, there is some caveats here. My little experiment is not entirely scientific either. Star Citizen is installed on a spare SSD I have.
Oh,
Elite
God.
Isn't.
Oh, wait. No, SSD.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Good enough.
Yeah. Not to mention the fact that I realize as I'm playing Star Citizen and I've spent 2 hours to try to go and buy a weapon for my Titan, that I've only gotten as far as getting to the store, but I can't get in because there's a known bug where an NPC, if he's standing too close to the door, he'll just stop moving and it locks the door. And so nobody can get in or out, and you have to go and reset the instance somehow and hopefully get lucky by running the train over and over and over again until he decides to move. But I realized I give a lot more leeway to Star Citizen than I do to Elite. And I'm not entirely sure why, because I'll mock both of them incessantly, but I do give a lot more leeway to Star Citizen. At some point, I was literally stuck on the train in New Babbage because every station I got to, the station wouldn't load.
I
So
love
I
those
was just-
moments. I usually just kill myself because of it, and just hey, I'm enjoying the quality, quote unquote, testing environment that is given to us. Just I'm
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, obviously it's more broken, but for some reason I don't care as much. I care when I run into like bugs in Elite. It really bothers me. Like, God fucking damn it. But in Star Citizen, I'm like, oh, well, I've quantum drive somewhere, and as soon as I came out of quantum, I exploded randomly. Oh well.
We don't take. I know exactly what you're talking about. I too tend to enjoy the shitfest this Star Citizen more because there's that inherent thought in my head that I know it's not serious. Star Citizen
Yeah,
is
that's
so bad that it simply cannot be taken serious as a
Seriously.
game or a product or anything like that. It's so broken, so bad that you already write it off as absolute trash and garbage in any serious manner. So what's left is just looking at the fucking donkey and laughing at it.
It's a pretty donkey, though. I gotta tell you, I'll admit it is a pretty
it's half
fucking
rendered,
donkey.
but sure enough, at least the half that is rendered indeed nicely.
Oh, by the way, anyone listening, I have I could have released a nice troll video about, doing it and this and that, but I know the best money-making meta for Star Citizen. And I can, I wanted to do the big caps title, this is how you make millions in Star Citizen overnight within an hour, Here's how you do it. Ready? It's not mining. It's not bounty hunting. It's not
Is
running
it buying
cargo.
from a dude on the eBay?
No, it's not even buying from a dude on eBay. Here's what you do. You load into the instance. You don't even have to get out of bed. You open up the global chat and go, hey, I need some money. And then wait for people to give you millions and millions of credits. Because fuck it, everyone understands this is just a playground.
I don't know if people
And
would be so interested in providing yours truly, knowing the reputation of yours truly, some help. But yeah, I mean, there have been some wonderful folks. Yes.
No, I'm not cashing in on my name here. My name in Star Citizen is kind of my name, but you wouldn't know it was me. That's not the same
it's kind
audience.
of generic.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: is that nobody knows who I am. I this literally will work for anyone. Log into the instance, just say, "Hey, does anybody have some extra money? I need to try this out, and I don't want to grind for 13 hours to get it." And chances are they'll give it to you because I asked for like I asked for 1 million credits.
Nice,
I'm like,
in some places, as it is with all games, be that Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, even No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky was the weirdest one. So I actually told one of my friends basically, hey, the No Man's Sky, yeah, it's worth it. When he asked about the game, and he picked it up on PlayStation 4, right? So I sit by him and just explain a couple of things as to how the game is played and blah blah blah, basics about it. And then we finally get to the Nexus area, right? That whole space anomaly, where just space Nexus, right?
yeah.
And we're just walking, he's just walking around and, explaining, rather I'm explaining things about the things and where to find each, thing, whatever, what's worth picking up, what's not. And then he opens inventory and sees just shit ton of just very expensive stuff that is sellable for stuff. Just somebody was running around that Nexus giving everyone a little bit of not inconsiderable amount of cash, especially for a newbie. And it's like, okay, I've seen this happen in other MMOs, but yeah, it's nice to see just that you can literally force feed someone something good, and then
take this money and enjoy
the funny
it.
thing is, that happened to me literally a couple of days later when I was doing No Man's Sky stream, and I was like, wait a minute, where did I get this stuff? And then I see dude running around.
People are
like,
awesome.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, and No Man's Sky people are awesome. I mean, money is kind of worthless, but
Every the
after,
point is every
you know,
community has their interesting and good community members, and those that you often refer to as the golden idols. For Elite, that'd be like Fuel Rats and Hull Seals and stuff. So yeah.
No, but I mean, the point I was making is that I was in a Star Citizen, and I wanted to buy myself an Avenger Titan because I've only ever played with it a couple times, and I was like short like 500,000 credits, and I was like, hey, wild proposition in the global chat. I said, wild proposition. I need some money, and I just need like 500,000 for the freaking Titan, and this dude sent me 50 million credits. It's enough to buy like every ship. I was like, oh.
Is it? No. I know that the most expensive ship you can pick up from, those dealers is about 130 million the last time I checked.
No, I don't think so. The most expensive I've seen is yeah, whatever. It was like 39 million, but I was like, all right, cool, whatever. But yeah, no, I bought myself a couple of ships. I've had a lot of fun. The Mercury Star Runner is a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I wish it was better armed though, but and it actually had a use because there's no hacking or data hacking or running in the game.
Enjoy the box, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. When it doesn't break. Well. I'm the first player to leave new player area, go to Colonia, and back to new player area. Wow. Good for you, dude. Whatever. Anyway, what are we talking about?
Right, so, well, next topics then, I suppose. Actually, kind of carrying over the little bit of previous topic I mentioned. WitcherCon is apparently happening, and it's on July 22nd. Actually, yesterday, while I was literally waiting for quote-unquote data to download, from one of those material grinding places, I was literally going through my email and just looking at things, and there was a message about WitcherCon. I was like, huh. Well, that's happening. Apparently, they're bringing basically together, the Witcher game as well as the Witcher TV series. Speaking of that, actually, there has been a released teaser, a 12-second teaser, but regardless, a teaser for the second season of Witcher. So, things are moving ahead, and might be something interesting on that end, if you will, if you're interested in it. And if you haven't played Witcher 2, certainly worth a buy on cheap, and it's often on GOG for cheap. And Witcher 3, definitely, absolutely a fantastic game that has to be experienced, in my opinion. Though combat, in my opinion, combat is average. But then again, that's how it is.
Am I the only one who didn't really give a shit about the Witcher show, the series on Netflix? I didn't really like it.
For me, the Witcher show, I probably wouldn't care about. Yeah, the first season wouldn't be too interesting for me without knowing what Witcher as a series is. Again, I haven't read the books, so my only experience literally is all 3 games. And the universe and so on and so forth. That sort of gaming perspective that I had on the series essentially is the one that drives the positive view of it. However, examining it, the show as itself, by itself, actually brings in rather interesting aspects that you don't see in other shows too much either. Though, the sort of cut, rather interestingly sectioned narrative is a bit jarring for a viewer. Still, I know where it's kind of going eventually, and kind of interested to see where it goes. But even without it, it has a unique style, I suppose, that we haven't seen in any TV series as of yet. I think the whole mythical beings and so on and so forth with a good makeup and whatnot else, as well as effects. I don't think so.
Well, speaking of Netflix series that I don't really give a shit about, but I'll probably give one episode to, Lance Reddick has been cast in the Resident Evil Netflix show. He has, what's his name? Wesker.
Alex Wesker, huh?
Yeah. I mean, hey, I don't give a shit about Resident Evil or Wesker, but I do like me some Lance Reddick. That guy is hilarious.
Sure. Yeah, well, it will depend. Basically, it will depend on what the show is going to be about and what will be the production value and basically how it will interact. Honestly speaking,
As long as it's
I'm
on
not...
par with Fringe.
Maybe. But the thing is, with the Netflix series, the animated portion, most animated shows from Netflix actually are pretty good. When it comes to live action stuff, you know, the normal series that you think of, it's either a really good hit or a very disappointing miss. So,
I don't watch anime anyway, so. But I mean, hey, if you say so, I believe you.
No, now the thing is, we'll see what Resident Evil comes and goes and what else. Maybe who knows? So it's not like the track record for anything to do with Resident Evil outside the video games has been particularly stellar. So.
Oh well, we of course discussed the best scene of the first Resident Evil movie. You know, the best scene ever of the entire series before the stream started. Yes. Anybody out there want to take a shot? Want to take a guess of what that scene was? The absolute best scene? I'll give you a hint. Mila Jovovich is very prominent in it. You know, she just really gives it her all. She just
5 frames, mind you. Not much. Still enough. But there you go. Let's see. After that, let's see what we got for the topics. Got that. Actually, some pretty decent news. Those that are interested in Soulsborne-like games from Software. Again, Elden Ring's gameplay reveal trailer has been released, and it sounds by sound effects alone, and kind of looks like quite a bit like the Dark Souls 3, in fact. So hopefully we'll get something interesting out of that particular game. Of course, we still need, a bit more information, but people are interested. Obviously, the big name attached to the whole Elden Ring thing is George R.R. Martin, as part of writing the story. So we'll see how that pans out. Not that From Software's games had exactly the most interesting stories, but if you delve deeper into them, they become a bit more interesting than on the first glance. But you really need to delve deep into them before you find that good story, if you will. Still, I'm certainly interested about it. We'll see what's what.
I'm seeing hype about Elden Ring all over the place and everywhere I go. You actually have not told me what the fuck it is. What is it? What is it?
I said Soulsborne-like game. Basically Dark Souls, if you will. Again, it's from the creators of Dark Souls. Just the next part. The last time From Software released a game, was Sekiro, which was, again, the same sort of a style, Soulsborne or Dark Souls style of a game, but with slightly different, nuance, if you will, about the combat and how it worked. Well, from what we can tell, at least from the looks of it, Elden Ring might be closer to what Dark Souls was, but again, till we know more.
Can I ask?
Yes.
I understand that there is a definitive, you're either this or you're that kind of person here, is that you're either someone who enjoys Dark Souls games or you're not. It's someone who likes to completely, bash their own
in absolute.
People who like to bash their psyche into a wall, and people who are like, how is this possibly enjoyable for you? Why are you doing this? And I got to tell you, I fall into the latter. So just the fact that it's another freaking, Dark Souls game, that means I automatically don't give a shit about it. But what is the draw here? A game that's so difficult that you have to grind your way through it. Didn't you get enough of that shit when you were a kid and you had to play the original Mega Man?
It's actually not grinding through. That's kind of the thing about... Kind of interesting
No,
thing.
it's not. It's not grind in the way you mean it. It's grind in the sense that you're going to have to run that level until you know it like the back of your hand. It's
Yes.
memorization.
Right,
It's a different kind of grind.
The best I can explain my own personal take on Dark Souls essentially was literally the first time I finally managed to beat not even a boss, but semi whatever. Yeah, technically a first boss in Dark Souls 3. The Index or whatever it was called. Damn it! Keep forgetting his name. Anyways, the first big one, right? So essentially, first of all, getting grips to controls on a keyboard and mouse instead of a controller was one thing. But even then, once you get grips of just moving and doing things and understanding what the buttons do and so on and so forth, the specific sort of a challenge that is to both time yourself back out and just basically combat being sculpted in a rather precise manner so that you have to not just slam your face against the opponent and hope for the best, or well, being able to break through sheer force. For Dark Souls, it was essentially, again, it's challenge. For me, it was the challenge that I had to overcome, and I knew the game was extremely fair on the challenge part. It wouldn't just needlessly make the bosses super invulnerable or unbeatable. There was a pattern that you had to either learn or, well, actually be able to hit correctly, if you will. It's essentially... Yeah, I'd say it's that sort of a punishing but still challenge way. Unlike a typical game where basically if you fuck up, yes, you'll get hit a couple of times, but you can still continue doing let's say a boss fight. For Dark Souls, it's more a one-hit kill sort of attempt. Not exactly, but the point is essentially your fuck-ups are basically punished harder, however, victories as well. But basically, yeah, the fuck-ups are essentially punished harder. However, overcoming that challenge for me, well, I suppose the first time I did, after the first time I beat that first boss was essentially that true feeling of accomplished challenge, like being able to finally get over that hurdle and knowing exactly why you got over it, and without that luck perspective, if you will. It wasn't a luck, it was just the skill and capability of the player.
It's memorizing a pattern.
That's, again, most games are.
Okay.
I mean,
moving on.
In that. No, the point for me was Dark Souls essentially was that game that, for me, represents the purification of game challenge or challenging scenario, if you will. And knowing.
Did you ever play the original Mega Man?
No.
If
my
you want
gaming history started with Duke Nukem 3D and PC stuff, none of the console stuff and old platformers.
The original Mega Man series, before we hit X, Mega Man X, which is my personal favorite. But go play the original Mega Man games. They are punishing, brutal, nasty, mean motherfucker games that give you no leeway, no guides, no reasoning, no understanding. They're poorly designed and completely challenging, quote unquote, if you can't read my air quotes in my tone. It's horrifying. We broke controllers when we were younger. It's bad. And we all look at it back fondly saying we memorized these patterns and it was a real challenging game. And I feel like looking at the Dark Souls people now are like, oh, I feel pride because I, beat Dark Souls even though it's gruelingly difficult. I'm like, okay, I'm retroactively sorry for my past self for bragging that I beat Mega Man because this is what I sounded like. And B, who the fuck cares? It's not fun. It's just something that you forced your brain to do. Whatever. That's my opinion.
Psychologically
This
speaking,
guy sounds like he needs to get good.
It has
Yes,
to do
exactly.
with overcoming a challenge. It's or rather accomplishing a task, something that you can do, and there is, or rather there is a solution. Let's say in school or work or wherever you are. Essentially, it's reaching for a goal and well, reaching it, literally. That sort of accomplishment and the feeling of accomplishment we do feel, well, in all sorts of aspects of our lives. And for me, at least, Dark Souls managed to replicate quite a bit of it within that sort of a sense of gaming, if you will. It wasn't, making a headshot here and there in rapid succession in, let's say Counter-Strike or what else. It's just that more prolonged sort of session of doing a task and finally overcoming it, rather than just a quick little skill shot.
I'm gonna give you kind of a partial win here. Someone in the chat just said, "Stay away from sim racing." Then, lol. I said, my brother is actually a really big sim racing guy. That's pretty much the only thing he plays. It's always F1. He's got the wheel and he's got the this and that set up and blah 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 blah. And he's invited me over to play it a couple times, and he teaches me how to do it and this and that. And I will admit that once you learn all the pedals and where to turn and how to properly race and how to properly turn and everything like that, that yes, it becomes more about the challenge of perfection than it becomes about actually, whatever. It's interesting and it's unique in that sense. And I imagine that's what you're kind of pointing at. But at the same time, after I'm done for like a day of just racing, I don't really touch it again for like a year. You get what I'm saying? Like I've done something that demanded perfection, pride, yay, good for me. But yeah, I'm kind of done with it at that point. Okay. Aren't you? I mean,
well, okay, but what exactly is your point then?
Well, I'm saying, like, how can people just sit there and live on Dark Souls games, just regrinding it over and over and over? It's the same with the F1 racing. I mean, once you've actually, gotten your skills down enough to beat the race, and you rank first, and then you go into the next match in the Grand Prix, and blah 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 blah, and you've won the game. It doesn't mean anything, I mean, wasn't the fun part supposed to be mastering it and getting it down, not regrinding it over and over and over? No? Am I wrong here?
There's that. There's also a part of, the same reasoning as to why we replay our favorite games. Isn't that the thing? Once more experiencing that build-up of, or rewatching a movie, isn't that the same principle of just knowing this thing, enjoying this thing, nostalgia? That experience of going through? No, not nostalgia. It's knowing what it, not only not knowing, but just simply enjoying that, journey again, time and time again, watching the movie again. Just because you enjoy the movie, not because it's, old movie that you saw back in the day. Well, there's of course the reason why people tend to replay games as well. But why do you rewatch a movie? Why do you rewatch hold something? On. Why,
Because of nostalgia. But what I'm saying is that, yes, it is though, because
not necessarily.
It's comfort. That's what the emotional equivalent is you're looking for. Something familiar, something you're used to. It's comfort. You're looking for comfort in experiencing something that you've experienced before because you know what's coming. But what I'm countering with, and I have no problem with that concept, I do it too. I try to resist it, but I do it too. It's not very healthy. So what I'm countering with is Dark Souls is intentionally punishing, though. So your concept of emotional comfort comes from having your ass handed to you by giant monsters. That's maybe, I don't know, a little revealing of what's going on in your head, maybe?
Not necessarily, no. See, your concept of, or at least perception of these Soulsborne-like or Metroidvania games, if you will, they are punishing, they have their punishing moments for fucking up. However, there's still a challenging and fair gameplay. Take, for example, Hollow Knight as well, if you have played it. It's, again, Metroidvania, and actually Souls games, they come from that same principle, literally, from the Soulsborns. So there's... yes, it's hard and it will punish you when you really screw up, but that's part of the challenge. And there's no particular insane variety, insane randomness of it. It's designed, you know that it's designed to be fair. It is something that you can overcome if you do it right, or if you're capable enough. So it's not exactly just pummeling you for the pummeling's sake. It's the result of you not being able to match the skill requirement of it.
I feel like we're going around in circles. Let's just move on.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Old man old man pilot today.
Old man yells at cloud. Yes, exactly. Yeah,
basically. Yeah. But fair enough. Okay, right. So let's then get on to here we go. Actually, something somewhat interesting on one hand and kind of concerning on the other. Tiny Tina's Wonderland is next or spin-off game for Borderlands. Those that remembered from Dark Souls. God damn it! What's wrong with me? Borderlands 3, there was a DLC, no, not Borderlands 3, Borderlands 2, there we go. From Borderlands 2, there was a DLC specifically catered to recreate the feeling of playing Borderlands, basically, but within the setting of D&D, or how did they call it in Borderlands? I don't remember, but basically, they're now making that whole DLC idea into a separate spin-off game with the same principles and so on and so forth. Thus far, we know very little of it, but basically the principle is known. And considering that, again, that's Gearbox making it, it's not the best company out there, let's be frank. But, you know, the product still results in something interesting.
Pitchford.
Yeah, Randy Pitchford. Oh, boy. I do absolutely love their games, but the company should not be ignored because of it. You can try and apply death of the author as much as you want, but there's just no way you're gonna really live with it. The whole idea, you know, taking author or well, in this case the maker out of the context of the game, because like it or not, everyone's gonna be mentioning it. So yeah, best of luck indeed to actual workers in Gearbox, and yeah, Pitchford, yeah. Anyways, those are the news on that side. Moving on then. Actually, yeah.
Hey, speaking of nonsense, I'm looking at the Battlefield 2042 trailer, right?
Yeah,
and everyone's
yes.
Everyone's loving it. Everyone's, oh, this looks great, blah, 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 blah. And of course, the usual haters who are like, oh, it's the same fucking game all over again. I'm going to disagree with everybody. I think it looks like fucking Fortnite. I really do. It's ridiculous and kind of silly, and I think that's the vibe that Fortnite goes for. Let's have a battle royale that's kind of silly and kind of goofy and fun. And I really think that's what they're going for, but just slightly more serious. Because they even did the freaking the airplane joke trick, you know, that's always been fun on a highlight reel.
It's a skill shot,
I know.
mate.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's a skill shot. Yeah, no, fuck you. Listen.
Get on my level, scrub. Get good.
Oh, for God's sake. It looks like fucking Fortnite. Fuck you.
I'm not disputing that, though.
Yeah, no.
Although I am, actually. No, the Battlefield 4...
Okay, go ahead.
2042, right? I come from the background of, first of all, Half-Life, right? Counter-Strike. That's my wheelhouse. After that, well, I kind of migrated partly to Call of Duty. It was, you know, something I enjoyed quite a bit. The Modern Warfare 2 especially.
I love Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, the Modern Warfare 3 was just atrocity in my mind, and I hated it for story purposes, and for multiplayer, I also couldn't too much care for. But that's just the story. The gameplay was, as always, you know, typical of Call of Duty, so I couldn't blame for it. So fair enough. Now,
remember, no Latvian.
Dude, just. Okay, let's carry on then. Right, yeah, basically, Battlefield series in general wasn't my thing. I rather didn't touch those things at all. Still haven't really touched them. I mean, I played what was it, campaigns a little bit from a couple of them, but that's about all. So I never really had that Battlefield multiplayer experience in my sort of repertoire. However, here's the thing. As much as I've still played it, the trailer in of itself and the game itself looks, again, much like Battlefield 4, if you will. And well, a lot of people enjoyed it. And, of course, knowing the quality that DICE goes for, we at least can expect a decent showing of things. And the trailer, generally speaking, was nothing special, unlike the Battlefield 1, which was stellar. But yeah, generally speaking, the game, well, the trailer was just a compilation of, quite frankly, one of the more memorable past, well, videos, events, or happenings, and whatever, right? It's essentially memorable moments within Battlefield's history. So that was a really nice sort of homage to the community that has grown around Battlefield. Even me, as the outsider, I can sort of tell the sort of a love that they put into it. As for the gameplay, well, it's kind of hard to tell what will we see properly, because again, it was a trailer, not an actual gameplay stuff. So yeah, even though color-wise, editing-wise, color correction-wise, or whatever, basically coloring, right?
That's great.
Just like all the other Battlefields, they specifically colored for specific, well, reasons, right? And then they've taken a specific color scheme in count. That's just how Battlefields are oftentimes, as many big name games are. So
the freaking wingsuit in the hurricane bullshit, dude. What is this?
Just
what
something
is
silly.
This?
Now the thing is, right? The hurricanes, right? So to address the hurricane thing, right? Those that didn't see the trailer, essentially, there's a segment in the trailer that suddenly everyone is fighting and stops as a big massive tornado or hurricane's coming through. Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, and all the other Battlefields in the past had these massive set pieces that happen. For Battlefield 4, I remember still when it was in open beta, I managed to play a little bit of it, and there's this one map where there's this skyscraper that you can literally demolish, right? That's a big set piece. That it's made for that set piece purpose. Of course, it might indicate a few other issues, like Battle Royale. But that aside, it's a sort of a staple for the whole series. Again, even as an outsider, I recognize that every single one of the Battlefields had this big set piece that happens during online play. Either a blimp blowing and then slowly falling, a big train exploding, a fucking skyscraper falling over, or now a goddamn tornado, okay? So
Hold on.
Yeah.
I did not realize this, but someone in the chat says that's a controllable hurricane. You can control the fucking hurricane.
Didn't see that. Well, regardless what they choose to do, I mean, it's a set piece. Bottom line is, it's a big, just spectacular set piece that, frankly speaking, I always respected and really enjoyed of Battlefield. It's at least in Battlefield 1, right? When that was in open beta as well. These big set pieces essentially usually came in when one of the teams was heavily losing to sort of balance out, if you will, and help the losing team a little bit. And it's just such a nice way of, making something interesting happen within the Battlefield, quite literally.
What specialist do you use? The tornado.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that cool? Like, it's stupid.
All right,
but
yeah.
There you go. It's stupid fun. It's not that fucking AC-130 coming.
I do miss
big
the
and
AC-130 though.
But yeah,
Anyway.
God damn it.
Speaking of battle royales and one that's coming in, there's one that's
Jesus.
going out. Fallout 76 is closing their battle royale mode, the nuclear winter, blah 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 blah.
Oh no.
And,
Let me go cry in the corner real quick. Oh wait, I don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I didn't even know they had one.
Neither did I.
Yeah, who the fuck cares about Fallout 76? I mean, beside apparently Arthur, who apparently listens to this show and does indeed play Fallout 76 and enjoy it, which is a problem for me. But moving on.
Which Arthur?
Oh no, it's Arthur. Arthur.
I
He
have
listens
no
to
idea
the
which
show.
Arthur
Did you
are we
not-
talking about?
Tell me, you idiot. Listen.
Oh, I found
you-
the King of Camelot there. Okay, good.
Did you not watch the live stream this week?
Let's see. Actually, no. I particularly don't give a single fuck about what they say.
Well, turns out that basically his opening monologue that lasted for a good 10 minutes was a pretty much direct one-to-one response to everything that you and I talked about in the first half hour of the show last week.
Okay. Why did no one else poke me about this, folks? Please. Okay. Well, I mean, if they, well, all right.
Yeah,
Then,
I was a little bit surprised too. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Again, I'm kind of skeptical about that sort of a risk. But okay, we'll watch it.
Well, you were contrarian anyway. You're gonna watch it anyway. Go nope. Pilot's making stuff up.
I have.
You
a
could read this
feeling
any
of
number
that.
of ways. Yeah, exactly. I know exactly where you're gonna be coming from anyway. So whatever. But I read it as, and I even went back and I rewatched our show from last week. I was like, I wonder if I'm just making this up in my head. Nope. He literally went point by point. I think he took notes. But whatever. Moving on. Oh,
All right then.
I have something interesting to close out the show with.
We're all. Oh God. Do we have anything else? Let's
Yeah.
see. Hold on.
Well, no, you could talk about your last thing first. Yeah, go ahead.
We have. Well, all right then. Well, I have actually two of them. The hack and
Well, pick one.
Okay, well then let's go with something funny, or fun. If you haven't noticed, I mean the clip sort of floated around the internet quite a bit, but Netflix is remaking, of course, Netflix, right? The Masters of Universe cartoon, and it has. The trailer looks just beautiful and silly and stupid beyond belief, as the old cartoon was as well. And honestly, not being even a remote fan of the cartoon, because was never really into that old of a cartoon stuff, if you will. Never really saw it on, when I was a kid, because it didn't transmit here. So yeah, still the art style and knowing what I know of just the cultural osmosis, if you will, of the He-Man and all that nonsense. Honestly, I'm quite interested to see this very 80s and very 80s looking on top renewal of the nostalgia and or something creatively different, because we don't see this sort of a, well, especially very colorful cartoon-based stuff, that much. There are niches, of course. There are things that come out that might try to look like it, but it's not like it's built upon that whole schlocky principle. So if it's gonna be a schlock, I'm gonna love it.
I have a question, and this is actually the question that just popped up in the chat. Does Skeletor pop up and go?
Did you not see the trailer?
I did not. No, I just said I didn't see the trailer.
Right. Fair enough. There is a little bit of Skeletor soundbite, but it's not exactly that. It's hard to say what will be the actual voice of Skeletor, but if it's as hammy as it was in one of the cartoons, fuck yes. I just, honestly, the world needs a really silly, stupid, but at the end of the day, with a good message, cartoon about a super muscly man and a super skull-faced muscly man just duking it out. Oh,
I'm okay with this. This is good.
It's
I like
so.
that.
We need something really silly and yet at the same time serious. So yeah, there you go. All right, and the other one. Hey,
go ahead.
Right. So the last topic of the day, at least from yours truly, that I wrote down was the hack that happened on EA, apparently. So hackers, well, not allegedly, but actually confirmed by, I think it was the report on Motherboard, the news site or article site, regardless. They got information that the hackers have apparently, through social engineering, acquired FIFA 21. I think it was source code, Frostbite's source code, and a few other things, I think including Battlefield. But basically, Frostbite is, you know, the engine on which basically most games that EA produces comes from. So, yeah, the source code of the engine itself being, you know, acquired, which EA did confirm. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that goes, if at all. Side note of that is that no player data, you know, the private data has been leaked. So there's that. EA claims that, we already implemented, what is it, security stuff and work with local legal people thing, basically police enforcement, and, you know, to get this sorted out. And honestly, I honestly don't even care anymore. It's EA, first of all. Second of all, one of those things is a fucking sports game, so fuck that. Mostly, particularly because sports games that are produced by 2K or EA, and maybe a few other ones, are just absolutely just exploitative garbages, and, you know, just that whole segment of this industry just needs to properly reset. And then, yeah, if you didn't know,
I'm sorry. Did I miss my cue for the gasp and the surprise?
Yeah, exactly. I was gasping as well when I saw
Sorry.
that that report. It's like, yeah. Anyways,
Who's gasping out there? Stop it!
Yeah, no, please don't do it. I totally am not in, you know, kind of a agreement with you there. Totally not. No, don't do it. It's bad. Never mind. Let's go on. Right. So that's basically about it on the news articles on my end. So, Pilot,
next week, do you want to go in be in hot? Next week, do you want to be in a hot tub together doing just chatting? We could do that. You know, I'll set up my camera and everything. I'm guessing no. Okay.
If only I had a webcam set up, I could at least express something. Oh God.
You could, and I would approve. I was about to say I shocked them into silence so I can actually do the thing.
Yeah. Okay, you first. I'll think about it.
I did a hot tub stream, bitch. It was fun. Anyway, I have big news. Oh yeah, total thought, dude. I am a man whore. Before I hooked up with the missus here, I was a massive man whore. You have no idea.
Such a gigolo, eh?
Oh God, dude. I'm like, it's to the point where I'm not proud of it. Yes, absolutely.
So basically, blowjobs in the alley for a snack, huh? Okay then. Well, okay. Carry on then.
I mean, I'm not denying it. Anyway, no. Listen, I have actually big news. I'm going to be in a game. Like in the game. I am the antagonist of this game coming out. I'm the voice actor for him. Seriously.
Any more information?
Not really. I have a link on my Twitter if you want to go look for it. It's a trailer. It's the last dev blog thing that they're doing. But essentially, I am the antagonist. I'm the bad guy, and yeah, I'm protecting the world by killing a large swath of it. But hey, I'm proud of it.
Thanosing, huh? Oh, right.
Oh, I'm totally Thanosing.
Let's see. Can I find the fucking thing? No,
I just sent you the link.
Oh, ooh, hello.
It's at the very, very end.
Oh, it's a first person?
I don't know actually. I haven't really.
Hold on,
It looks
put
neat.
on
I
the
mean,
screens. I'll put it on the screen so the people at home can experience this thing.
Yo, what is going on, ladies and gents? It is your boy here, Imo, and welcome back
Okay.
to another
so my bit is at the very, 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 very end.
Okie dokie. Well, let's see.
Yeah, the last order.
Beneath the earth, we waited. While the world tore itself apart, we grew stronger. We sacrificed. We survived. And when we emerge, there will be a new order. The last order. We will remake this world in our own image. We have the technology, the resources, and the strength of will to do what needs to be done. Never forget that we are here to save humanity, and we will put down anyone that stands in our way. Those who stand against us stand against life itself.
Yeah, you
All
can
right,
kill it.
so all right. So folks can go and listen to his waffling consistently. Right. One thing I do notice is that because you and me right now, we are both using dynamic microphones, it feels squashed, if you will. There's no reverb effect, sound, and so on and so forth. So for videos, it's really nice. Problem is that when in an, let's say, an environment, you need to use that sort of voice. It needs quite a bit of post-processing. If you record through dynamic microphone, or well, obviously you need a condenser and so on and so forth. But that's just sound-wise based stuff. But hey, interesting.
Well,
So there you
I
go.
mean, thank you. I'm not an
It's-
audio engineer, man. I mean, obviously,
well,
from
yeah.
the fact that but if whatever, I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but I'm just happy I'm gonna
first-person
be in a
shooter,
freaking video
okay.
game.
Okay, first-person
Yeah.
shooters from the looks of things. The big question is now what type of a game it will be, because well, I kind of have a feeling that it does look like quite a bit like Rainbow Six Siege.
I
Just
mean-
saying. Still, regardless, best of luck indeed to developers, and I will be indeed interested. This is my wheelhouse. Oh yes. So, yeah. Okay. Then
Well, I'm happy
next
you're
question
gonna
is-
play it.
Oh yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So the big question is, how did you get involved?
I know the guy who's the founder of the company, the guy who's talking, who's giving the dev blog.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool dude. He's actually a streamer too. He does a lot of mobile FPS stuff, and back when I was
Mobile
doing Trovo
FPS.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh god.
You know, the
okay,
CODM.
Mobile games just. Anyways, carry on.
I mean, that's my personal feeling too. I don't understand, why you would play, FPS, first person shooter on mobile. But my God, dude, if you actually like, I was legitimately surprised. You could go watch them stream, and there's always a camera on what's happening in the game. And there's also a camera on like the tablet or the phone that you're using. I am legitimately shocked and amazed how they can move so quickly and efficiently as they do. It is incredible to actually watch. It's not something I would do. It's not a game I would play, but it is legitimately
Oh,
shocking.
there's no doubt that those devices and that sort of generally speaking, again, device can't handle a fast-paced movement and action and so on and so forth. The problem oftentimes is just simply controls and mastering those. Yeah, of course, people. There are plenty of
It's
people that can
insane.
master all sorts of fucking things and indeed play fucking Doom on fucking potatoes, like literally using
Yeah,
potatoes as
exactly,
controllers. I think there was a video or some other game with just playing a game with a fucking potato just as a touch thing, right? So I'm not doubting that it can be done. It's just that the types of games on mobile tend to just raise suspicion immediately. Anyway, that's a
I'm
whole
right there
different
with you,
topic
man.
that we're not gonna get into just today. So yeah, man, props to our pilot there. Yes, and in case,
Thank you, man.
Just saying, in case you know, they need more voice acting. I mean, I'm up for it, even though my voice
I'll
sucks.
definitely throw it your way. I'll do what I can, man.
But no, in either case, it's certainly interesting to always see, you know, work in progress stuff and new FPS games coming out and so on and so forth. After all, it's my thing, kinda. So yes. Well, I don't know what else. Anything interesting?
Oh, we're pretty. Give us money. Seriously, please.
Well, there you go. For my links, for my wonderful, helpful, supportive links, there's you know, below the stream. There's plenty of those. For Pilot, you can easily find his stuff on YouTube's as well. And you know, even though he doesn't make content anymore, God damn it, subscribe to him still.
Aw, thank you, man.
So there you go. Let's see. Any generous people today? No. Okay. Well, we can early end then this one. So thanks for watching, and once more, take care. And next week we'll talk about all the E3 bullshit that happened. I'll probably try and get some guests for this, because fuck it, why not? Maybe. I'll see whether or not I'm lazy or not. Ha! Until then, take care of yourselves.
Bye, everyone.